Now for the next part of the video, I want to talk about the next purpose of NASA and why I think NASA might be making rockets and nuclear bombs, and how I think nuclear bombs actually discovered, what their purpose kind of is. Now, to kind of start this off, I think that another possible way that NASA could have came to know about these space things is they could have seen astronauts through stargates as opposed to actual spaceships. Like, I think that the idea of a stargate, like a portal that goes from one part of the Earth to another, or like one planet to another, could actually explain how like the astronauts actually like went to other planets, or like got knowledge about these planets that they couldn't have possibly figured out. Like, basically my whole thesis here, my whole idea is that I don't believe that NASA is actually being honest about how they figure these things out, because I think that it's not impossible that some of these things could be true. I just don't believe it's very probable or plausible that NASA could have figured them out just by simple observation, because interpreting statistics and data, like, I just don't think that you can figure out things in that kind of way. So I think that they could have went to stargates, that's how they could have went to other planets, and maybe like a fallen angel or something directed them to do so. Something interesting is that Brigham Young, who founded the city of Salt Lake City, got directed by like a dream to go there. Well, what if a fallen angel directed him to go there? So I think that fallen angels actually went and could have like shown us the stargates, or maybe they just somehow discovered the stargate. You know, underground tunnels, whatever. Maybe underground tunnels lead to the stargates. Like, these are speculations. This is just kind of my opinion. I don't think there's like much proof that stargates actually exist, but I am open to the idea of stargates existing. Something interesting is that in the show Stargate, there's like these alien creatures who like were ancient Egyptians, basically. They came and ruled the earth, kind of like the Book of Enoch or the Anunnaki or something, like ruling the earth. And well, Mike Griffiths had a dream saying there's a whole planet of fallen angels, and like there's a whole civilization like the Nephilim, the Eliod, Sons of Cain, whatever. And I think that could be like what Stargate's actually talking about. Now, for the actual Anunnaki idea, I want to say I actually believe in the Anunnaki. I think the Anunnaki are real. Like, I think the whole Anunnaki idea is basically like what the Book of Enoch was actually talking about. Like, I believe that before the flood, we already had kind of advanced technology, or like we had like decently sized technology. But then I think that the Anunnaki came down and they gave us more advanced technology and like occultism and all that kind of stuff. And I think that like Atlantis was probably one of the civilizations, the pre-flood civilization. And that's like why Enoch in the Book of Jasher did what he did. Like, I think Lord of the Rings is actually based off of Enoch in the Book of Jasher. And there's this person called Namo Soul saying that Atlantis, that these fallen angels, they give us tattoos, they make us fat so that our skin could be like digested and put into leather and stuff. And like they make like ornaments. So I think that maybe the fallen angels could have taught us how to make tattoos as well. I think maybe that's why the Bible commands against tattoos, because what the Bible does say about what resembles tattoos are tattoos. They're just not the same kind of tattoos that we like to wear, because tattoos the Bible commands against were like ritual tattoos, but these tattoos we take are just decorative. So that's why I don't personally wear tattoos. Why I'm not going to get a tattoo. If you have a tattoo, that's okay, but that's why I'm not down to get one. I think they're like Zechariah Sitchin and these Anunnaki people. I think they got their knowledge from like fallen angels or a demon, or like they somehow got the ability to translate these things. They somehow got knowledge that corroborated these ancient Sumerian texts. They discovered them earlier than we were told. Like, I think they basically had access to confiscated documents that we're not allowed to see. They didn't get released to the public until later, because a lot of things get confiscated by the Smithsonian Institution, which was a Freemason institution founded by Andrew Jackson, who was a member of the Democratic Party who oppressed a bunch of Native Americans. Well, it's like the Smithsonian Institution was like doing all these things. Well, maybe like Zechariah Sitchin or Eric von Daniken went to the Smithsonian. That's how they actually figured out what they figured out, because I think that their Anunnaki stuff actually makes a lot of sense. It's just that the sources that they claim to get these from don't really make sense. They don't really line up with what we actually had. But since there's ancient Sumerian sources that line up with other pieces of the Bible, such as the Book of Enoch, with the Epic of Gilgamesh having Nephilim, Enuma Elish being like the Book of Genesis, with Eden, then I think it's possible that Zechariah Sitchin and Eric von Daniken, that's how they actually figured out these things. But with that said, I want to get on to the next part of the video. Basically, I think that there's a possible chance that the purpose of NASA is to reconstruct ancient technology that they found. Basically, there's all these shows with the governments, they find these ancient alien technology, or this alien technology, or this ancient technology from other civilizations, or they're hunting paranormal beings or something like that, like Bigfoot. and like the Men in Black and all that. And I actually believe that these TV shows and these movies that talk about these things, I think they're actually based off of something real. Like I believe the Men in Black are based off a real thing. I don't mean the Men in Black like and like the alien ones. I mean like the finding the supernatural aliens and beings. I think that they actually are trying to keep them hidden and confiscated from the public so that one, they don't like ruin our public perception, and two, so we don't believe in like Christianity or any religion that tells the truth, because we started believing that stuff, we realized that our government wants to keep us down and they ran by like, the evil ones, like these occultists. So that's one reason. And two, I think that like it's actually possible and that maybe our government found ancient technology such as nuclear weapons or something like that, or like they learned about things that describe ancient technology, like the technology we have today, such as airplanes, spaceships, nukes, computers, iPhones, TVs, because all six of these things that I have described are all things that have been found in ancient civilizations. The ancient Egyptians, they had planes. The Hindus, the Indians, which the Egyptians come from, actually had spaceships, phones, and TVs. I don't know about the phone part, but they had TVs. The Mahabharata apparently describes TVs. And there's spaceships, which are called Vimanas, which are like UFOs, which Hitler and Nazi Germany made a bunch of UFOs. Like these UFOs could actually be German troops. And also, ancient Greeks had a computer, and there's this nuclear weapon called Brahmastras. What if like NASA is actually trying to reconstruct it under secret projects, and that's what they're really trying to do? Like, what if our ideas of our rockets come from these things? Because Oppenheimer, he got the idea of a nuclear bomb from the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Mahabharata, and these things called Brahmastras, which are wind weapons, which destroy things, they incinerate people. If you go to India, there's actually radioactive soil that has been found that proves that there were nuclear weapons in the past in northern India, and there's also like these reminders. I'm thinking, what if NASA's actually trying to reconstruct this technology? Well, why is it that like there's all these Indiologists, these Egyptianologists, they're like all these people, these European nations suddenly became really, really interested in technology during the 800s? Like, why is that? I think it's because they want to reconstruct this technology. I think the reason why we were able to come up with this technology is because they discovered all these things, these archaeological sites, which are doing it, and they're trying to reverse engineer this technology to kind of bring about their pre-flood civilization. The Bible says it's going to be like the days of Noah. Well, what if this is going to be like the days of Noah? What if this is them trying to fulfill their prophecy? So that's kind of what I think in a nutshell. This is a video that I discovered after I recorded the second part of the video slash third part of the video. Part of the video where I talked about there was a part of the video where I talked about how NASA was using underground portals from aliens, stargates, somehow using teleportation and like portals to travel to other planets. Well, after this, I discovered this really cool video. These two videos, Biblical Secrets of Enoch, Mysteries of the Portals Explained, and Portals of Heaven at the Ends of the Earth, Book of Enoch. I watched these two videos, and I think this could actually be how NASA goes to other planets and dimensions. Basically, the Book of Enoch talks about these four portals at the ends of the Earth that wind and rain come out of, and even though she didn't really say it, it kind of implies you can go to other dimensions. I'm thinking, what if NASA somehow knows about these and they somehow discover these, and they then went to those to go to other planets and to like go to like other dimensions? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Something that's very interesting about the Book of Enoch, because everyone knows it for being like talking about aliens, fallen angels, watchers. But the Book of Enoch also talks about like what's at the end of the earth. It's something that's interesting is that people associate this with the Ethiopians, but something that's very interesting is that if you read the Hiram Q series of books, it says that the Freemasons actually discovered the Book of Enoch in the 1800s. And they had this like ritual called the Keys of Enoch or something like that. And there's this other guy called John Dee, who I think was a Freemason, who came with this really weird magical witchcraft language called Enochian. And I'm kind of thinking, what if the reason why the Freemasons wanted to discover the Book of Enoch, why the Illuminati, the Freemasons, all these other fellas wanted to discover the Book of Enoch, was not because they wanted to have like knowledge about fallen angels and the Anunnaki? What if it was actually because they wanted to travel to other planets? They wanted to discover ways to get out of this earth. Because it's like, if you look at Assassin's Creed, the Templars, they're trying to look for ancient artifacts. If you replace them with the Illuminati, Freemasons, well, they have to look for stuff. People think that they're all powerful, they're all knowledgeable, but no, the truth is, these people have to find information like us. They just have more information compiled than us because they steal information from other people, and they like keep it hidden away in like secret like vaults and stuff like that. Like we talk about the Vatican archives, Vatican Library. What if this is like part of what they're hiding? So that's kind of what I think personally. It's like, if you think about it, kind of makes sense. Like the Freemasons, the occultists, they do ritual sacrifices, they're pedophiles, they molest children and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm thinking, what if the reason why they want to find a Book of Enoch was because these watchers that taught us secrets and before the flood happened, they taught us advanced technology. What if it's because these watchers are the same masters and they're trying to find a way to free them or something like that? That's kind of what I think personally. Let me know what you think. And also check out this channel, Yah's Chosen. This is a Hebrew Israelite channel that talks about lots of Bible conspiracy. And well, she's very biased towards what the Israelites did. She's kind of biased. She still has really good content, so I suggest you check her out. And if you disagree on what she says, don't give her like hate. Be like respectful towards her, because she's still a human being. But like, yeah, check out her channel. It's really good. While I was editing this video, I saw this really interesting Instagram reel / TikTok from this dude called I am Jason Goodrich. He's talking about how we're going back to the moon. After 53 years of not being on the moon, we've apparently gone back on the moon, and apparently it took NASA 53 years to go back to the moon. He thinks the moon landing was faked, and so do I. And after I've done this, and it's kind of interesting that this news has came up just as I was making these videos about NASA's true purpose, because I've been sitting on this footage for a few months. Like, I actually recorded this a few months ago, and I just didn't get around to recording it, to editing it, because I just had so many issues I had so many issues using my editing software. I had so many issues with my computer that I just didn't do anything with my computer for a long time because I was having so many issues with it. Like, my computer got hacked by my university, and I still haven't got around to fully recovering my account. It's just nothing's really happened, so I just haven't done it yet. And it's I was having so many issues with my software. I wasn't able to edit videos for a few months. So it's kind of interesting that just as I chose to finish recording my video, editing my video, I keep saying recording, as I finished editing my video, it turns out that NASA is going back to the moon. And it kind of seems like, in my opinion, I think they're doing it to colonize space. I think they got some secret Mars mission. They're trying to make some colonies in space in preparation for the next step towards the New World Order, because I believe the New World Order is going to happen within our lifetimes. I believe it's going to happen in the 2060s or even later. I think that we're going to be alive to see the New World Order. If you're watching this, you're probably going to be alive to see the New World Order, but I don't think it's going to happen for a while. But I think this is going to be the next step. To this, I'm going to be posting this clip on my YouTube channel and giving credit to I am Jason Goodrich. If you're watching this, Jason, I think your channel and your Instagram account is awesome, and you should keep posting. You should try to make some more long-form videos. But anyway, to go to the next thing, there was this prophetic dreamer called the Prophet's Den. He's this American prophetic dreamer, and that had a prophetic dream that predicted that NASA would go back to the moon landing and the Artemis moon mission. And here's the two ones. He made 2 videos about it, and here are the 2 ones that he made. Yeah, but pretty much there were 2 prophetic dreams he had. One was about a failed space mission, and another one was about the Artemis lunar missions, and this was about 6 months ago, and the first one was about 8 months ago. So the first one was 8 months ago, the second was 6 months ago. 6 months later, there's apparently going to be a moon landing mission. And I haven't been paying attention to this. This just popped up on my Instagram, and I've seen it, so I kind of think it's interesting that there's going to be another space mission after almost 60 years, just as I happen to be making some videos about space. That's kind of crazy. And also, there's this other prophetic dreamer called In Time Dreams, who had this prophetic dream somewhere about a failed space mission and about missions to Mars and stuff. And I just think it's really interesting that this dude re-uploaded his space dreams. He put him in public again, and this guy made his prophetic dreams, and this other guy talked about the Artemis lunar landing mission just as I posted some videos about space. It's interesting how all of us are just making content about space at the same time. And there's all these like different ones. There's quite a few ones here, but there's like a Mars mission dream. There's a World War IV dream, which I mentioned earlier in this video. There's space stations. There's a failed like space landing. I can't really find it, but there's like a few dreams he had about the Artemis moon landing or like a failed space mission. Here it is, the rocket crash dream. There was a dream that he had about a rocket crash, and he had like a few dreams about this too. So I kind of believe that this is going to be part of this Mars mission. I believe there's going to be a Mars mission like where NASA and other space agencies, there's one in New Zealand, there's one in India, which is ironic because India had advanced technology in the past. There's one in the UK, Europe, Russia, China, and I kind of think for some reason that this moon landing that they're going to make is going to be about Mars. I don't know why, but I think that basically they're going to go on the moon, and they're going to go on the moon to see if they can go to Mars. And they're going to make it as a base where they can launch the rocket off to go to Mars, because it's going to be like easier to go from the moon to Mars. Because think about it, right? You can put like a rocket, like think about like this. It takes a lot of speed to go from Earth to like the moon to get out of like the atmosphere, to break the atmosphere. And if there's not much of an atmosphere to begin with, like if you're already in space, it's going to be easier to launch from space to go to Mars. So I actually believe that this moon mission is going to be related to Mars. Like, I don't know why I think that, I just do. So that's all I have to say for now. I'm going to play this clip, then this video is going to be ended. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be uploading more videos from now on. Thank you for watching. I'm Truth TV, NZ. I'm out. Peace.
They say that we're weeks away from going back to the moon after 53 years. And I'd be lying to y'all if I didn't tell y'all that I'm kind of interested. But something still don't seem right to me about this. One, I'm not even fully convinced that we went the first time. And before y'all start jumping in the comments, comment jumping me, I just say I question everything, that's all. I'm not saying what's true or false, but I'm not convinced. But we went from NASA landing humans on the moon during the Apollo 11 era to 50 years of no return, no upgrades, no repeats, no footage, and now suddenly we just back on schedule to go to the moon again. Y'all don't find that suspicious? Keep in mind, at the same time, inflation has gone wild. It's wars everywhere. Surveillance is increasing. Basic rights are getting shaky. People can barely afford to live. So I just gotta ask, is this about exploration, or is they just trying to change the conversation? Now, big announcements have always been used to pull attention, and history shows that when people start asking too much questions, they just give us something shiny to look at. Now, don't get me wrong, space is fascinating. If it's real, that's amazing. But I'm also aware that distractions don't have to be fake, they just have to be timed. So what do y'all think? Is this a historic moment, or is this a perfectly timed headline? Let me know.